Hey everyone, I wanted to welcome you all to my workshop this evening. Today I'm looking at three Sears GAMEFISHER 7.5 horsepower outboard motors that I recently picked up. All three are very similar to each other, although they're not exactly the same. All three are mostly complete, and I say mostly complete because if I look around, there's a couple of small issues with some of them. For example, what we're looking at here is probably the oldest of the three. It's an older vintage by the looks of it. It's actually missing the spark plug, which is not there. The carburetor is off. It was actually in a little bucket when I got it. And it's missing some linkage, which was apparently transferred over to this location by the previous owner. You see the white parts there. I believe that those belong to this engine. I mentioned earlier I do have the carburetor, so I've taken it apart and I've noticed that the fuel pump mechanism on it was all dried out. So that was probably, and I'm not sure, but probably the root cause of the problem that the previous owner had with these, probably from sitting too long with gas in them. So I cleaned out the carburetor, I removed all the old gunk, and I will say that there was also a broken fuel injection screw in the carburetor, which I used reverse thread easy out to remove. That proved to be a little bit difficult, but I did manage to get it out. One of the few times that those tools actually worked for me. I got that out, I ordered replacement parts, and I have received them. So my next video will be of me trying to reassemble that carburetor. But as you can see, these are little Tecumseh engines, 7.5 horsepower. This one was missing some parts, as I say. It's got the coil here, but no spark plug. The tiller handle is cracked right here, not a big deal. It's missing some of the linkage, most likely because it's actually on that one over here. So I'll see if I can reclaim all those parts and see what I can do about this guy getting it back together. It does have a neutral and forward switch, and when I pull on the rope while in neutral, I can tell that the propeller down below is not spinning. Let me see if I can get that better. Not spinning down here, as we can see. But if I go to shift it in gear, then the propeller does spin, which is kind of nice. As I was starting to say, it's a little Tecumseh engine. It is air-cooled, which is a little different. It's not water-cooled, the engine itself, 7.5 horsepower. But the lower section of the outboard is actually water-cooled, so it needs to be kept in water so that it can run. I'm going to mix up the oil to 32, a ratio of 32 to 1 for the fuel when I get to that point. But for now, my next task is to rebuild the carburetor on this one, which I have on my workbench, and see where that gets me. I will add a note that on this unit, the model number is Sears 217-585-750. So as I was talking about the carburetor earlier, I did order a new fuel pump gaskets, new fuel pump flap valves, and the missing or broken replacement for the broken fuel injection port. So like I said, I'm going to go rebuild that, and hopefully this will give me some positive results. I also need to locate a spark plug for this, so I'll probably be borrowing it from this unit to see where that gets me with this guy. But I think my first goal will be to reassemble this guy completely and see where that takes me. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for my video on how to rebuild the carb for this one, and from there we'll see where it takes me when I install the carb onto this unit. Thanks. Bye-bye.